All right, so I'm going to show you other ways that you can work with your images. So you want to go create new again and choose that full high definition one, 1920 by 1080, go create, and then go ahead and open your images. So you want to go wherever your images are, if they're on your desktop or your downloads, wherever they are, go ahead and just open them. So I want that moon, so I'm going to go there for my moon, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to import another image, and I can go to my desktop and I have I think actually I like these flowers because they add a little bit more light. And then I can go ahead and upload another image. So again, I'm just going plus, I'm going image, and I'm going wherever it is that I saved my image. So the cicadas are coming. I don't know if you heard that, but they go underground for 17 years. And then all of a sudden they come out and they're out of the ground for like a month and they try to find a mate. So I'm going to put a cicada in there because it's sort of timely. Now you can see what I did. I don't want all that other information around there. So I'm going to just take this tool and I'm using the lasso tool, and I'm simply going to outline my image here. And then I'm going to go select and I'm going to go inverse. And when I invert it, it's going to take out, oh, whoa, I did it on the wrong layer. Edit, undo, edit, undo. Again, Photoshop is all about layers. So I want to make sure I'm on that layer. Notice how there's undo there, which is very handy. And now I can go delete. Now, what's also helpful, so I've made a crude selection. If I want a more precise selection, especially with a white background, you can use the magic wand tool. Go here. Select, deselect. Oh, I'm going to go select, deselect is always a good idea. If something's not working, just go select, deselect. I'm going to make sure I'm on this image with my little cicada. I'm going to come in there and you can see that because that's white, it selected it, and I can just go delete. And now I no longer have that white around there, and I am going to go select, deselect. So now it's not selected any longer. You can see there's some residual white around there, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that eraser and I am going to just go around with the eraser and just get that excess away because I don't really want that there. So I'm going to just take that away, and I'm just using that eraser, dragging it around my image, and I am taking away that little halo that was sort of left behind when I did the selection. And what that's going to do is it's going to make a much cleaner collage, right? So I could come in there. Now, say you like your image, right? And you're like, hey, I want another one of that. So you can, I know you can somehow duplicate this. So I'm going to go, maybe we want to go edit, copy, and then edit, paste. And let's see if that works. Did that make a second one? Let's see. Yes, it did. It just happens to be on top of the other one. Now I can rotate. Now this gives you different, very specific things. So it says rotate to the right, rotate to the left. But if you take this here, you can rotate it wherever you want to rotate it. You don't have to be so rigid with your rotation, right? You can just, and then likewise, you can scale. So now I have put these in here. I've got my images there. Now when I'm thinking about my moon, I want that moon there, but I don't want all that blue around it. So I'm going to just pull this moon up to the top layer so I can see it. I'm going to go in with my magic wand, and I am going to select all that blue, and I am going to go delete, or you could go edit, cut. Okay, and now I just have my moon, which is much more interesting, right? Now select, I want to make sure I'm on my move tool, and then I can move this where I want it to be. Now notice how I have all of that blue still around there. So I am going to take that magic wand and I am going to get rid of that blue. And the thing is it will only, I'm going to go deselect, it will only do it in the area that's inside of the window. So if I take my move tool and I move it, you're going to see that I still have the moon over here, the blue. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to just take that out and go like that. All right, so now you get to do the fun stuff. Select, deselect. Now you get to figure out how you want to blend your images together. Now, what I do want to let you know is that you can always bring images on top of another image. Okay, so now that's in front. You can also put them behind another image. But all that magic happens by being on the right layer, right? So you want to make sure you're on the right layer. Sometimes, if like with this moon, it's taking up the whole thing. So everywhere I go, it's going to think I want to move the moon. You could just take that off like that, and then you can more easily move this one around, right? Because it's not fighting with the moon. And then I could just turn the moon back on. So now I have my images, and now I can start to, oh, I did want to bring one other image in here. Let me go. I wanted to go in image, and I wanted to get this pink flower here. Yeah, to put it behind it. So, and I want to bring that all the way down to the bottom. Okay. So now it's the fun part. You get to start working with your layers. And you can also start thinking about also like if you want text, what is your text going to be? So I'm going to come in first with the moon. Now, again, I have the option of just going transparent. Like, there it is. It's more transparent. And I'm like, that's all right. But I'll tell you what's really cool are the blending modes. So now you can go through here and just see what blending mode you like the best. Like, ooh, the screen is kind of pretty. But it does require that you're taking a little time and you're going through these to figure out which one you like, because each one of them offers something different. So I kind of like that one. But I'm going to know more of what I want to do with my moon if I figure out what I'm going to do with my white flower overlaid over the pink background. So I can come in here and I could take my transparency and bring that down, and now you see how it's pink. Or I could go through my blending modes and I could do multiply, blends it together seamlessly. But I could go through each of these and decide how much pink do I want? How much of the yellow flower do I want, right? So I can just play with these things until I find what it is that I think is aesthetically pleasing to me. Like you can see the difference always does some crazy stuff, and so does the exclusion. So if you're wanting some crazy variant, you can go ahead and play with that, right? So I decided I think I want lighter, okay? And I am going to take the transparency down so I get a little bit more of the pink coming through. And then I can also go, and in this you also have filters. So maybe I want to put a texture on that, and I can go here, and you can just like sort of play. It's like a big toy box where you can just like play with different things and just see what they do. So I could go mosaic. Let's see what that does. Look, and you get all this. Oh, like holy moly, I love that. Like that's fantastic. I think that's great. So I am going to keep that right there. But I'm feeling like my little cicadas, they're a little bit in need of something. So I'm going to go and I am going to go multiply so it blends in a little bit more with the background. I could go through the different ones here. Maybe if I wanted to be like crazy, I could go with difference, which is kind of interesting. exclusion. Those are always the ones that are going to be more heightened. But if you go through these, you're going to be able to see different versions and kind of figure out where you want it to be. Now, I'm thinking I want it to be on multiply because it's sort of bringing in that background. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm just going to go blending mode on this one. Make sure I'm on the image, right? Because I'm looking over there at my image menu. And I am going to go to my blending mode, those little dots on the side. And with this one too, I am going to go multiply. Okay. And you can see that I have some of that pattern coming through. Select. Again, I can then decide now I want to put in my words, right? So I could go to the internet and get lyrics to a song. I could, maybe I want my moon to be a little bit bigger, right? Because you can scale things. So maybe I want that to be larger, right? And maybe I want the moon to have a pattern on it. So what I'm trying to say is that there are so many possibilities, and all those possibilities are based on how you're playing with your layers and what you're doing as you're having them interact with each other. Now, with my moon, I could go and I could play with some of these filters, and maybe I could do color balance. If I wanted to change the color, you got these colors, you got threshold, desaturate, would turn it black and white. So filter, let's see what dehaze does. I don't know, why not? Let's see, what does it do? Oh, it's making it nice and warm, right? So I could do, ooh, do I like that? Maybe I like it, maybe I don't. Maybe I want to do something else. So it's basically an opportunity for you to just go through. Oh, bloom sounds like something I might like. Let's see what that does. Let's see, apply. Do I like that? And maybe I want to do this one. I want to do maybe multiply for that. I think it's a little too competing, so maybe I might take down the saturation. So anyway, you can see that there's a lot that you can do with your collage. You can also you could do another layer, and you could do empty. You could then take that layer, pull it up to the top, and maybe you want to harmonize this with a color so that it kind of pulls everything together. So I might come in here and I'm going to pick this orange here, and I'm going to go okay. And I could take the paint bucket and I could, oh, maybe I want to do a gradient. I'm going to go orange to red up here, this beautiful color there. And now I have this, and I could take that paint bucket and I could instead do a gradient. Okay, it's going to cover the whole thing. So then that's when I need to go in and I can take down the transparency, right? Or again, go into the blending modes and I could do screen and just go through those. And that sometimes adds some pretty interesting effects to it. Ooh, like that is pretty cool. Yeah, anyway, you can see like I'm getting lost in this and I don't want this video to go on forever, but I could just like continue to play with this for a very long time. And I'm thinking that you too could play with this and have a lot of fun with thinking about how are you going to pull your images together to create something interesting. Okay, so that is that. I am not pleased with that. I'm going to take that layer off and go back to where I was, and I would probably come in and do something a little bit more, but because, you know, I'm sure you don't want to watch a video forever, I'm going to just stop it here. And again, what you want to do is you want to go File, Save. If you wanted to go back and work on it again, you would want to save it as a Pixlr, and you could go download, and then you'd be able to open it up and it keeps all your layers. Okay. And then you can then also go here, close that. And then what I recommend is that you always go save and you go to JPEG and you go high and you go download. And then you have it as a flattened image. If I pull this up here, that you can then go in and work into. And by no means do I feel that this collage is in any way complete, but it is just giving you an idea of what you can do as you play with Pixlr E and Photomontage.